Look at my life, it's lit. Look at my life, it's lit. Yeah. Look at my life, it's lit. Look at my life, it's lit. Yeah. Look at the gang I'm with. Put it on gang.
What's popping, Shudu gang? It's your girl Shudu and I am back with another YouTube video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. If you are new to my channel, you hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Shudu gang. Gang. Okay, so today's video is another episode of ShuduViews. I haven't done ShuduViews in months. I only did one episode under the ShuduViews segment, and I was like, you know what, let me do another one. Okay, so if you don't know what ShuduViews is, it's basically a segment where I review shows, albums, singles, whatever it is, movies, whatever it is that is of interest to me and that I feel like I want to talk about with you guys. And yeah, I've been wanting to do a ShuduViews video. It's just that I just haven't, I don't know. I just wasn't deciding on a concept or like on an idea for a video. But this time I came up with one that is perfect. So basically I'm going to be talking about a couple of shows that I feel like you guys should watch, a couple of shows that I've enjoyed, that I recommend, I would 10 out of 10 recommend to other people to watch, and that I feel like you guys would enjoy. So yeah, the shows that I've mentioned are kind of in different genres. They're not all like in the same genre, so I just wanted to accommodate different people with different tastes. So yeah, let's get right on into it. So I wrote down 6 shows. I wanted to do 5. Actually, I wanted to do 10, but I was like 10 is a bit too much, and then I wanted to do 5, but then I added one more. So yeah, okay, so the first show is Lovecraft Country. So Lovecraft Country, girl, Lovecraft Country. It's a new show. It's on DSTV or Showmax. It's a new show. Currently, right now, it's on episode 3. So this coming week is gonna be episode 4. And yeah, so at first I was a bit about this show. Like, I was not understanding it. You see, when you watch something, you don't know what's going on, but you continue to watch because you're like, it's interesting, but you're confused. Like, it's interesting, but you're lost, you know, but you still want to watch because you're like, nah, it's gonna make sense, you know? And also because the things that are happening are like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, that just happened, and then you want to wait it out to see, to be like why did that happen? Like, you get what I'm saying? So basically Lovecraft Country is kind of like it's a sci-fi / horror / thriller type of show. It's led by a black cast, which is amazing. We love to see that. It's basically around black people, and it's set in the 1950s, I think, or 60s, I'm not sure. So basically there's a lot of racial injustice. You know, it tackles issues of race a lot, because obviously back then people were still very, very racist, and treating black people very badly, you know, even though it's something that's still happening today, but you know how it was back then. So basically that's like the time setting of this show. It has very interesting characters. So basically this guy, he comes back from the war. I think it was the Korean War or whatever, but he comes back from fighting in the war, and then when he comes back, they tell him that his dad's been missing for a couple of weeks, right? So obviously, because he loves mystery and stuff like that, he's like, you know what, he's gonna solve this case. He's gonna find out where his dad went, because his dad wouldn't just disappear for weeks and not say anything. Cool. So he goes to his uncle. Him and his uncle shared a love for reading. They love reading books about mystery, sci-fi, horror, things like that. So okay, cool. So he goes to his uncle, and they find a letter from his dad, talking about his inheritance, that his mom's he's inherited he has a large inheritance, right, from his mom's side in this particular place, right? Okay, cool. So now when they check the letter, oh, there's something that they missed, so they put it under a light, and then he's like, nah, so it doesn't say this, it says this. So they're like, okay, cool, they're gonna go and figure this whole thing out. Then fast forward, this girl who was his like childhood crush or something like that, or they were childhood friends, she comes into the picture, and they decide they're gonna solve this mystery together. So it's crazy. There's some witches. It's crazy because you think it's like an ordinary black, like a series about black lives, you know, and racial injustices and things like that. And it's like, no, it's that plus horror plus thriller. It's nice to see because we usually see those in the white. It's usually white people who act in those, and not really black casts that act like that. Except another show that's kind of like this is like Watchmen. I never really watched Watchmen, but it's kind of like that. So yeah, it's very interesting. They were attacked by these monsters. The first 2 episodes are very confusing. I will say that the first 2 episodes are very confusing because you're like, okay, in episode 1 you'd be like, okay, you're confused, but you're like, okay, and then you think you're gonna get clarity in the second episode, and it's like more confusion. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's witches, there's people who believe they can have immortality by jumping back in time to Adam and Eve's time. It's very nice because it's very different things. It's like you never thought like anyone would make a series with all these topics all at once, but they do it in a very interesting way. It's very entertaining, I will say that. So I have 10 out of 10. Recommend Lovecraft Country. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. The second show is I May Destroy You. Okay, I May Destroy You. Also, it's on the 3rd episode, so we're waiting on for the 4th episode. Okay, so I May Destroy You is about this girl. So she is a writer. She's writing her 2nd book. She's focusing on, you know, perfecting her 2nd book, and she's pretty much laid back and chilled. She's kind of a stoner. She does some drugs and things like that. She likes having a good time, but this good time that she's gonna have ends up leading to her being sexually assaulted. Okay, so she ends up being sexually assaulted because one of her drinks was spiked when she was out with her friend, this other guy, right? Who, honestly, he's kind of snuts because you can't give me drugs and then, like, just bail on me because we're all having a good time. Like, you're supposed to take me home. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he should have made sure that she went home, but he didn't. So, yeah, so basically, throughout the episode, she's trying to figure out how this happened, how she got raped, and who raped her and things like that. She's just trying to figure everything out, and her friends are like supporting her, and it also tackles issues of consent. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. It's a British drama, but it's black people, but they're British. English. I don't know if they're British, but they're English. Okay, so it's set in London. So yeah, it's very, very nice. So far I really am enjoying it. The 3rd episode was a little bit cringe in the end. I can't spill as to why it was cringe. Y'all will have to watch that for yourselves, but it was a little cringe. I was just sitting there like, yo, that's kind of nasty. But it's very, very interesting. I love Arabella, who's like the lead character. She's very interesting. She's very interesting. Okay, so the 3rd show that I'm gonna be discussing and recommending to you guys is The Sinner. The Sinner has had 3 seasons. Oh my god, Shudu, why is English running away from me today? Okay, The Sinner has had 3 seasons, and I've watched all 3 seasons because this show is just that good. When I first started the 3rd season, I was very like skeptical because I was like, after watching the 1st episode, I was like, I guess sure. Like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna like it. Actually, from the trailer of the season, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but I gave it a chance and I loved it. I loved it. If you've never watched The Sinner at all, the first 2 seasons, then don't just start on season 3. But even if you do start on season 3, it's not gonna matter because each season is a different case. So basically, it's like a crime and investigation type of situation. So basically, Detective Ambrose, who's like the lead detective in all seasons, he investigates like really terrible crimes, like heinous crimes, like that a certain individual has committed. And sometimes the individual is very unlikely to have committed that crime. So that's what intrigues him when investigating the case, because he wants to find out like what were the reasons, like what made this person do this brutal thing, like what made this person kill these people or this particular individual. Like that was and the cases are always very interesting. Like each episode is like, I want more. I want more. Like I want to know more. And it's like, oh, I gotta wait until the following week to watch the show. But now that all 3 seasons are done, you can literally binge watch all 3 seasons. It's very, very nice. If you're into like crime investigation stuff, you're gonna definitely love the show. If you like How to Get Away with Murder, you're gonna love the show. Actually, I recommend it for everybody because it's just that interesting. The first season was tackling this lady who was like, she didn't even know why she committed the crime. Like it turned out, okay, let me not, should I spoil it? Okay guys, there's gonna be a couple of spoilers, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me not say why she committed the crime. But basically it wasn't her fault that she committed the crime. Like the reason behind it was crazy. Like the final episode is always crazy of each season. It's always like, this is kind of insane. Like this is kind of insane. You know what I'm saying? And then the second season was a little boy who killed these 2 people, and they like trying to figure out, and he was like in a cult, but it's not really a cult, you know. It's a lot. Like, and like 100 out of 10 recommend watching The Sinner because it's that great. It's literally that great. Okay, the next show, the 4th show is My Brilliant Friend. Okay, so My Brilliant Friend might not be for everyone, literally. It really might not be for everyone. It's currently on its 2nd season. It's almost done. Yeah, the 1st season was last year. So when I first came across this show, I just saw it in Momo catch up, and I was like, what is this, right? And I open it, and Gawono, there is no English. It's subtitles the whole way. And I was like, personally, I'm a person who doesn't mind reading subtitles really. If the show is great or the movie is great, I don't mind reading subtitles the whole way, because for me, it's about the content. It's not about me having to hear English. Like, it's about what the story is about. Do you know what I'm saying? So basically, it starts off, okay, season 1. It's about Elena. What's her real name? I forgot her real surname, but in the series they changed it to Elena Greco. So Elena Greco is like she's an author, an Italian author, and she wrote a book called, so someone comes in the first episode, comes in and tells her that her friend Lila has gone missing. Her childhood friend Lila has gone missing, and then that causes her to reflect on all their childhood memories and the things that they've overcome in their childhood, which is the series, right? So then basically the series, the first season is like when they were like kids and teenagers. It just shows how these 2 girls became friends. So they were like top of their class. Lila was more of the coming from like a really snacks background. Elena is more like stable, modern household situation. So Lila, you know, her parents didn't really care about school. They're like, you have to start working and bringing some money in this house, okay? Like, this thing of you being at school is not it for us. But then the teacher was like, she's like top of her class. Her and Elena, this girl, they're like top of their class, and we need you to keep her in school. And they're both really smart. And then they hated each other at first, and then they became friends, really close friends. So Lila's the more frivolous and like carefree, and you know, she does whatever she pleases. Literally, she does not care, and she's very stubborn. And Elena's the more reserved and calm one. She follows the rules. So it's very interesting to see 2 people who are friends, but they're literally opposites of each other. And then that their friendship kind of influences Elena a little bit, because she wants to be more like Lila. She wants to be more carefree, more laid back, and yeah, Lila ends up dropping out of school because her parents said she must get married to this other guy who is like, he's top of the town, okay? He's like one of those, the rich families, like the whole town knows about his family, like him and the other family. I forgot, why did I forget their names? Like, I don't know what made me forget because I know their surnames. But anyway, Cirulo, there's the Cirulos, there's the I forgot, but it's Italian surnames. Cool. So then she is married, and then in the beginning of season 2, it's after it's like the honeymoon, and we see that he's not a good guy. He's abusive, like verbally and physically, and it's like, damn, like, why is Lila allowing herself to be stuck in this situation when she's a strong character, you know. And yeah, and then Elena ends up considering dropping out of school and dropping out of university because she feels like, you know what, what's the point? And then there's relationship drama, there's family dramas, issues around money. It's a very, very, very interesting show. I 10 out of 10 recommend watching it if you don't mind reading subtitles, because the whole thing is in Italian. There's literally no English, but it's very, very, for me, it's very worth it for the storyline. Yeah. Now, the fifth show is Fidelity. Fidelity featuring my wife, okay, my crush of all time, Zoe Kravitz. So Fidelity, so there's a movie called Fidelity of the same name with this basically the same storyline. It's from the late 90s or early 2000s, yes. And I recently watched it because I had never watched it. I started watching the show, and then after that I like doing my research. I'm a person who likes doing research on anything that I watch, you know, if the storyline is very interesting. And then I saw there was a movie like back in the day, so I was like hoping it's gonna play on DSTV, because I couldn't find it on any streaming, you know, those illegal streaming services. Couldn't find it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to just wait for it to somehow get on DSTV. And it did, like a couple of weeks back, and I was so happy. My brother and I were so happy because him and I watched High Fidelity together. It just made me love the show more. I love both the movie and the show because they both it's the similar storyline but different perspectives. High Fidelity is about Rob. So Rob she's laid back, she's carefree, she's very chill, she's a smoker, you know, she just lives life the way she wants to live life, you know. She's chill, she's laid back, she's the owner of like a record store. She loves music, very passionate about music and vinyl. So she literally owns a record store, vinyl store. Cool. So then she has these two friends or / employees. They were just employees, but they ended up being her friends, right? Cool. I don't know why I forgot their names now all of a sudden, but anyways, cool. The one is very loud and she's very much straightforward. She tells you what's on her mind, whether you like it or not. And then the other one is more reserved and calm. So basically, she takes you on the journey of her top 5 worst heartbreaks, right? One is in her childhood. So a couple of them are like when she was in university, and then, you know, now like recently. And then there's the number 1 heartbreak, which is like the worst heartbreak. So throughout the show, you're thinking, holy, it's the guy's fault that the thing didn't work out. And then in the end of the last episode, you're like, wait, we might have been wrong, because like you're led to believe things are a certain way throughout the episodes, and then you only find out in the final episode, oh wait, damn, you're not the one who's messed up, that's the one who's messed up. Or you're not the one who ruined this, you're the one who ruined this. Do you know what I'm saying? So it has a very, very interesting storyline. And then she ends up trying to contact all of her exes to figure out why they broke up with her, because she's trying to understand what's wrong with her, like what's wrong with her, you get what I'm saying? And yeah, it's very, very interesting. The movie as well, I do recommend watching the movie as well. And if you can watch it in any order, you can watch the movie first and then the series, or the series and then the movie. Either way, it's very, very interesting as well. In the final show that I 150% recommend, 110% recommend, is Never Have I Ever. So I've spoken about Never Have I Ever before, and I think I mentioned it in my ShuduViews, the first ShuduViews video, but like I mentioned it like at the end of the video, like a little bit, because the video was not about Never Have I Ever. Okay, so basically, Never Have I Ever. When you first watch Never Have I Ever, you think, it's just another ordinary teenage drama, like the typical teenage girl. She's socially awkward, and then, you know, she doesn't know who she really likes. That she likes this guy, she ends up being caught in a love triangle, things like that. That's how you think the show is when you first watch it. And I was a little bit put off because of that. But then as you watch it, like, no, like there's a stronger storyline here. And first of all, I was impressed by the fact that it was led by an Indian cast mostly, and it brought us closer to understanding the Hindu culture and Indian culture. That's what I love. Like, you never watch series that incorporate normal teenage life with religion. Like, it's you hardly see that. So it was very nice to see something that really opened our eyes in terms of the Indian culture and the Hindu culture and things like that. So basically the show is about Devi. Devi is she's the girl, she's the main character of the thing. So she lost her dad and now she's with her mom, and she hates the fact that she's with her mom because her and her mom don't get along very well, and she constantly wishes that, she wishes it was the mom that died, which is messed up. She realizes that that's a messed up thing to hope for. So basically she would rather have her dad there than her mom because of how it is. And then she has this cousin who lives with them, who the mom seems to favor more than Devi, which makes her hate her mom a lot more. She's obsessed with this guy, what's his name? I forgot. He has a really nice sounding name. His name is Paxton Hall Yoshida. I don't know why I forgot that. Like, it sounds so... Paxton Hall Yoshida. Okay, anyways, so she's obsessed with Paxton. Like, she really has this huge crush on Paxton, and she tries to start something with Paxton, and then she lies to her friends and says that she slept with Paxton, which was not true. It ends up being exposed to the whole school, and Paxton's like, bro, why did you say that? Do you get what I'm saying? Because, she was very straightforward. So her and Paxton, I don't know how they ended up becoming friends. And then she told Paxton that, I want us to have sex. And he was like, cool, just pull up to my crib after school. And she was like, really? Okay. So she told her friends that she's going to go there. Cool. And then it didn't end up happening. So then she ended up going with the lie, saying that, yeah, it happened. Like, I slept with Paxton Hall Yoshida. Okay, because he's like top dog of the school. You know what I'm saying? And then ends up getting out, and then Paxton's like very disappointed in her. Like, why did you have to do that? I thought we were friends. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually Paxton starts to like her, but then her arch nemesis, the guy who she's hated for her whole childhood because she's like top of her class, and they're both like top of their class, so they're always competing to have the highest marks. So I forgot his name. Ben, I think. Is it Ben? I think it's Ben. I'm not sure if it's Ben, but I think it's Ben. Ben ends up liking Devi. They end up being in the same, I think it's called Model UN, which is like, it's like student council kind of thing. Johannesburg Student Council, but for the UN. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, they end up being in Model UN together, and he ends up realizing, damn, I kind of like Devi. And Ben's life is kind of sad because his parents don't really care about him. Like, he's moneyed, but his parents don't care about. He's a nerd who's moneyed. I know, like, that you never really see that. Usually the popular guy is one who's moneyed. But anyways, so yeah, he lives in this beautiful house, but his parents really don't care about him. Like, they care about making money and doing other things, So he lives a kind of sad life, which we get exposed to. There's a whole episode, I think, dedicated to Ben, that we see another side of Ben that we never thought we'd see, because you have this concept of, like, this idea that of Ben because of how he acts, and then after that episode you're like, okay, you understand his character a lot better. She sees a therapist. The therapist is Nisi. Y'all know who Nisi is. Okay, I'm gonna put a picture on Nisi because I love Nisi. So Nisi is her therapist, and she tries to make her understand and deal with her grief, but Devi's she doesn't want to do that. And in the final episode, she comes to terms with certain things, and it's very beautiful. The final episode is a very beautiful episode, which I love. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting show, and I 10 out of 10 recommend. I 10 out of 10 recommend every show that I spoke about. I really would not talk about something that I would not recommend, really. I wouldn't sit here in front of this camera and have a whole discussion about something that I know people wouldn't enjoy. So yeah, I really hope that you guys do watch maybe one or two or all of them. I don't know, whichever one you feel is more you, and you can come back and we have a conversation in the comments, or you could DM me on Instagram if you watch the show, and we can have a chat, and maybe I'll discuss it in the next ShuduViews episode. So for the next episode of ShuduViews, I was thinking of maybe exposing or talking about new artists or unknown underground artists. So if there are some artists that you'd like me to talk about or you feel like need some attention, comment down below or link their SoundCloud or Spotify, and I'll give it a listen, and then we'll have a discussion, or I'll discuss about it in my next ShuduViews video. Like maybe your homie is trying to push his rap career and you think he's really good, comment down below his name and the name of the song, or link it down below and I'll listen to it and we can discuss it in the next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please do comment and actually say we want more videos like this, because then I will know, because I could make it about movies or an album that came out, like Jaden's album for example. If maybe one of you would like me to discuss it and review it and discuss how I feel about it and whether it's an 8 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, comment down below, things like that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big fat thick thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, girl, boy, I know you're enjoying me and you're not gonna regret it, so just subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, its_Shudu, and on Twitter, Shudu_Hillary, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.